Okay, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Everybody on board. So my name is Sarah, and I am a geriatric social worker, and I'm part of the team here with Anat and Margareta and several others that want to help you orient into your new situation in Israel. So let me begin by welcoming you. Welcome to our caregiving community here in Israel. And very brave of you to make this journey across the ocean at, this kind of strange time, Corona, into a new adventure. And I commend you for your bravery to do this. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about what we're going to do. First of all, this is kind of an opportunity for all of you and for us as well here. In between time, it's kind of a strange situation that the Corona has provided for all of us to have a week to kind of settle in, to learn about and think about what's ahead of us. And I'm sure many of you, or perhaps all of you, are anxious, scared, kind of insecure about what's happening, who you are, what's going on all around us, and what's waiting for you. And that's going to be our purpose, to try to assist you and feeling a little bit more prepared for what's ahead. And basically, it kind of depends on you in terms of how much you want to share with each other. This is an opportunity for you as well to make friends and to get to know each other. It's always more, it's easier when you have a support group, when you have, someone to share with, bad things and good things, especially, when you're kind of alone in a new situation, new country, new place, new everything. So I encourage you all to kind of get to know each other, even though you're, separated. But we do have this wonderful Zoom device. And so, if we kind of open up to each other and share a little bit, I think that it will be very beneficial to everyone. And I'd like to begin by asking everyone to just say their name and perhaps just say if they've been abroad before, in any kind of work situation or travel situation, and we can do that, kind of quickly before we continue with the program that we have prepared. So we kind of introduce ourselves, all of us. So feel free to do so. Who wants to be first? There's only 19 of us, so it should be kind of quick. Come on, guys, just say a name, and if you've been abroad
I'll
before.
go first, ma'am.
Okay. Your name?
Hi, ma'am. I'm Oriane Prosperoso, and I am 31 years old. I am ex-abroad. I came from Hong Kong. I worked there for 2 years and 1 month. I just extended 1 month there.
Where? I didn't hear.
Hong Kong, ma'am.
Hong Kong. All right. Okay. Thank you, Ariane. Okay.
Welcome, ma'am.
Okay. Who's next? Cindy?
Hey, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Morning, ma'am. I'm Aaron Joshua Gaeta. 28. This is my first work in abroad.
Thank you. Okay.
Hi, ma'am. I'm Cindy Rita.
Hi, Cindy.
Yes, ma'am. I'm 36 years old. I have experience working in United Arab Emirates, Dubai United Arab Emirates as a waitress.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Who's next?
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
I'm Francia Leona. I'm 41 years old. This is my first time with first work abroad.
Okay. Thank you. Who's next?
Hi, ma'am. Good morning.
Hello.
This is Aileen Lagaja. I am 36 years old, and this is my first time working abroad. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Who's next?
Hi, ma'am.
Hello,
I'm
hello.
Lorilyn Presas here. I used to work as a caregiver in United Kingdom.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Catherine Iscorel. This is the first time working abroad.
Okay, Catherine. Thank you.
Hi, ma'am. I'm
Hello,
calling
hello.
this 40 years old, and this is my first time working abroad.
Okay. And who's next?
Ma'am.
Hello. Two of you girls.
Hello,
Okay.
ma'am. Good morning.
We
Yes,
can't
ma'am.
hear you.
Ma'am, I'm Maria Irene Advento. I'm 38 years old. And this is... Oh.
Wait.
Hello.
We didn't hear you. We didn't hear you. Okay. Joy Beli. Wait.
It sounds like you're using two devices in the same room. So if possible, step aside a little bit so we'll be able to hear you.
Okay.
Ma'am.
Go ahead.
I'm Maria Irene Advento. I'm 38 years old. And this is my first time working abroad.
Thank you. Okay.
Next.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. Good
morning.
morning. My name is Jacqueline Lacosa. I am 35, have one child. And
Jacqueline, we cannot hear you.
hello, good morning. My name is Jacqueline Villariosa. I am 35 years old. I have one son. This is my first time to work abroad. Thank
Okay.
you.
Good morning, Madam. My name is Rosemary Dumnuan. I'm 40 years old and I was working in Hong Kong also before.
Okay.
Good morning, ma'am.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Kathleen Karin Cardenas, work 33 years old, work from Singapore and Japan.
Okay. Okay.
Hi, ma'am. Good morning.
Good
I'm
morning.
Janice Orsi. I'm 38 years old.
Can't hear you, Janice. Hang on.
I'm sorry, ma'am. My net is very weak.
Okay, turn your camera off just for a minute
Yeah.
so we can hear you better, maybe.
Yes. I'm Janice Orsine. I'm 38 years old. My second time to work abroad. Before, I'm working in Taiwan.
Okay. Okay. All right. Who's left? Anyone, or is this all of us? I wasn't counting.
Good morning.
Okay. Good morning.
I'm Alma Aceveda, 38 years old. This is my first time working in abroad.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Who's last?
I see that, okay. Maricel is trying to connect. It will be with us soon. And we have Redmi, and he have a problem with his audio or her audio.
Okay. So we will, okay, I want to share a screen.
You can.
Okay, so first of all, thank you everyone for introducing yourselves. And of course, not just to us, to not myself and Margareta, but also to you, to all of you. And as I said, I hope that this week is going to be an opportunity for all of you to kind of share. And as we already kind of know that quite a big group has worked in the past abroad, and again, probably half of you have not. So this is a new experience, and hopefully we can share from each other's experiences in different kinds of situations that I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to give a short presentation here with the screen and talk a little bit about the subject for today, basic values in caregiving work. We're going to take a 5-minute break in about 20 minutes, and then we'll continue. And of course, there is always an opportunity to ask questions either by writing them on chat, or we'll have an opportunity during and before break to, ask you to share your thoughts and your questions and so on. So that's the program, and I hope you'll benefit from it. So I will begin by saying that the subject for today is culture and values in the relationship with the elderly patient. Okay, so what are the basic values in the caregiving work? Human dignity, autonomy, tolerance, empathy, and compassion. All of that makes care. So we'll talk a little bit about each one of these basic values. And I think they're just, they cross all cultures, right? I don't think there's any culture on earth that all of these are not part of the value system. What do these values mean in caregiving work? So first, let's talk about human dignity, value that refers to a person's unique trait as a person. Dignity is the right of a person to be valued and respected for their own sake and to be treated ethically. Respect your patient's humanity, privacy, thoughts, feelings, opinions, beliefs, and body, and maintain your patient's privacy and dignity, okay? A lot of words, but basically I just want you to think about the fact that you're going into a person's home, he knows nothing about you, you know a little bit, but not very much about who that person is. Perhaps you know a little bit about his family situation or his medical situation. And I think that you have to be minded that it is an intrusion into his safe place, into his comfort zone, into his space, and you're a stranger from a strange country. You look different, you act different, you smell different, you talk different, and you have to allow for this kind of adjustment, okay? And of course, respecting a patient's privacy is very important. You don't want to, in the beginning, I'm talking about the very beginning, okay? In the beginning, you don't want to move things, you don't want to change things, you want to learn as much as possible about the person, the family, their culture, their habits, what they like, what they don't like, and to be very, very, of course, polite, but also you have to be minded about how this strange situation is affecting not just you, but also them, okay? So this is kind of a different kind of a relationship that perhaps they've never encountered before, even if they've had people come into the home and do care work or cleaning work or cooking work or any kind of, help. But having a live-in person in your home is really a different kind of a relationship. And so you must be minded about what is his privacy, his space, his thoughts, and very different. So he's just as anxious as you. He's just as, maybe scared or, yeah. perhaps as lonely as you feel right now, being away from your family or friends and so on. Just be minded that human dignity is respecting one person's everything, okay? Not to invade his space at a different pace than he's able to. Autonomy. Autonomy is the capacity to make an informed and uncoerced decision. Self-directing freedom and especially moral independence. Give your patient the right to choose what he prefers to do, where he wants to go, and allow him to make his own decisions. This is really important to keep in mind. You always have to ask your patient or your client, as I like to think of these people, as what they want every day, even if it's the same thing, they answer the same thing every day, about breakfast, lunch, dinner, what they want to wear, how they want to spend the day, what the routine is for the day. Ask. Don't tell them, ask them. It's very important. You must understand that people that have disabilities, that have compromised abilities, are in a process of mourning, okay? They're mourning the loss of their abilities. And it's very dehumanizing to think that they have no control over their life. They've lost so much control already, right? So even being able to control the minimum of what they eat and how to spend their day and what they like and what they don't like, and respecting that by asking each time is very, very important to allow a person to have his autonomy, okay? To be as independent as possible. Even though you can do things faster, quicker, more efficient, more, allow them to do as much as they can at their own pace. Tolerance. Toleration is the allowing and permitting of acceptance of an action, idea, or object, or a person, which one can sometimes dislike or disagree with. Be tolerant of your patient and give yourself time to get to know each other, even if you don't agree with him, and sometimes always respect him. So again, this is like, two cultures. He knows nothing about you. I'm assuming that none of you are Jewish. So perhaps the client have been, in contact all of their life with Jewish people, having a strange religion, strange, everything is very, very stressful to have someone in your home. And of course, you have to, build a relationship of trust, which we will talk about in a little bit later. But first, be aware of the fact that you must be tolerant, okay, of reactions. It's not personal because they don't know you. Once they know you, I'm sure things will change. But we all have preconceived notions about all foreign workers or all Christians or all Filipinos or all old people or all Jewish people. So we're all into this kind of preconceived notions until we get to know each other. So allow that to happen and to be tolerant. Empathy. Empathy is the capacity to understand and feel what another person is experiencing from his frame of reference. That is the capacity to place oneself in another's position. Definitions of empathy encompass a broad range of emotional state. Try to empathize with your patient's physical and emotional condition. With the physical condition, if you know their medical record, it might be possible to empathize in the beginning. But obviously, if you don't know a person, you really don't know about his emotional, situation. So take the time to get to know them. Ask questions. Walk around the house. Everybody has little knickknacks, books, pictures, photographs. Take the time to learn the person, okay? He probably is too weak to present himself. Ask questions gently. Look at family albums. Find out who the important people in his life are, who the people he loves, what was his job, what was his accomplishments, what was his disappointments, who's still around, who he lost. Find out all the things that are important to a person, and you can do that by everything that's in the home. Where they bought this, were they on a trip, who did he go with, what did he like, what did he not like. Very important in understanding a person's emotional situation, and it's possible only if you know them, okay? So take the time and take the initiative to do that, okay? Part of the job. To be compassionate, sympathetic pity, and concern for the suffering and misfortune of others. Compassion motivates people to go out of their way and help physical, mental, or emotional pains of another and themselves. Another. You know, I assume that compassion is part of your personality. Otherwise, you perhaps would not have chosen this line of work. Being a caregiver is not being a bus driver or a technician or, you know, or a waitress or a cook. It's emotional work. And if you don't have this need to give in your personality or ability to give in your personality, then it probably isn't the right position for you to fill, right? So I assume that if you've all chosen this kind of line of work for the next however years or months you're going to be doing it, then it's part of your personality. So be proud of it and use it wisely. All of that is part of care, right? All of these values are part of the care. This is our job. These are the tools that we fine tune in our personality as part of our toolbox, okay? This is what we use in order to do our job well as professionals. So I invite you to participate and to talk a little bit about what, in your opinion, is the most important value in caregiving work. And are there other values perhaps that I didn't speak about that you find important in caregiving work? Would anyone like to share what their thoughts are on this?
Honesty, ma'am. Or
Please
trust.
do. Just say your name, Cindy.
I'm Cindy Rita.
Okay, Cindy, go ahead.
I think one of the most important value caregiver should possess is honesty or trustworthiness.
Trustworthiness and honesty. Absolutely. Okay. So, yeah, it takes time to, you know, for your patient or client to trust you. But this is part of the process of building a trust, you know, relationship. Yeah, thank you. Anyone else want to talk about what's important? Something else? Anyone?
Hello, ma'am. Your family.
Hi.
I'm Catherine Escurel.
Hi.
Catherine Escurel.
Go ahead.
Being a caregiver, I give my total love and care to my patient, kind-hearted and compassionate. And also, most of all, more patient.
I see that elbow. Whose elbow is that? Adding patience. Put the camera on her so we can see her. Okay.
Go ahead.
There you go. Absolutely. Patience. Patience, love, and care. You know, we say TLC, right? Tender loving care and patience. That's right. Tools of our trade, guys. Absolutely. Anyone else want to add something to our list in our toolbox? As professional caregivers, right? Well, you know, I will add perseverance, okay? Perseverance is also kind of important. It wasn't on the, you know, on the list here, but I will add that perseverance, I think, is also important. And I think we all know that. To be able to withstand, you know, and not to give up in difficult situations. I think that our job puts us in difficult situations. And I think the ability to find the inner strength, you know, to kind of be there and and persevere. I think that's also part of, you know, one of our important tools in our personality. And I'll just say that, you know, the more we fine tune our personality, the better skills we have in life in general, obviously. And also that makes us better caregivers. Okay. Absolutely. So I think we're going to take a 5-minute break now, and we'll come back in 5 minutes and continue our presentation. And thank you for sharing. And I think we'll all benefit if you continue to do so.
Thank you. See you in 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So what do you think? Anyone want to share about values, about caregiving, thoughts? Okay. So the next subject that I want to talk about is gender aspects in caregiving work. Okay. So I just want to say in general that actually I read in the paper today that in the United States, they issued a passport this recently to a person where the question was gender was X, because he didn't want it defined. So I'll just say that, you know, no matter what the gender that you identify with in Israel, we are generally as a community very, very open-minded about gender issues, but we must also understand that our clients and elder people in general are more conservative in their thoughts and understandings of issues, and sometimes it may lead to problems. So first of all, I want to say that gender issue is important, especially being men or women or whatever. And there is no place for any kind of, how should I say it, abuse or misuse of any intentions that may be misunderstood. So I'll talk about that in a minute more in detail. So a few facts about gender and care work. Although most of the caregivers are women, as we see in our group here, 18-1, there are also many men who are caregivers, especially when a man needs to be cared for. Some of the female caregivers provide care for a man or live in the home where there is a man lives, and some of the male caregivers provide care for a woman or live in a home where a woman lives. How does gender contribute to the caregiving relationship? Although women usually take care of children, adults, parents, spouses, and other family members, there are also men who have these abilities. Women naturally have the ability to care for others with empathy, compassion, concern, and love. But men can also have good caregiving abilities, and some men like to take care of their family, likes to take care of their family or work in the care field. Your caregiving qualities are an asset. Be proud of them and use your caregiving abilities to provide good work and quality care. Well, let me just say a few things about being a caregiver. First of all, very often being gentle and kind and as we've said before, loving may sometimes lead to misunderstandings, okay? If you're a man or if you're a woman. And so we must be very minded and be proactive in understanding the situation and in alleviating any kind of negative, how should I say it, negative progression of a situation, okay? If you are caring for a woman and you touch her gently and you're lovingly and you bathe her and you dress her and perhaps you massage her hands and so on, and sometimes this may arouse some kind of misunderstanding, okay, in any kind of sexual tone, a man or a woman, it does, you know, depending. Sometimes there's a husband or a wife in the family that might be jealous. Oh, she's doing this better. She's getting a smile out of him. She's, you know, cooking better, cleaning better, stronger. Or a man, and the family may feel that he's jealous or angry. Someone is taking his place. Someone is doing a better job taking care of his spouse or, husband or wife. I just want to say that sometimes just by being there, a strong young person, man or female, may sometimes, with you having the best intentions of doing a good job and caring in a difficult situation, may provoke negative feelings, okay? And so you must be minded. Sometimes it could be, from the spouse, the husband of the wife you're taking care of may approach you in an inappropriate way, or the other way around. So you must be minded to be very straightforward and to and to look a person in the eye and say, no, this is not the intention. This is inappropriate. This is not what is part of my job. Okay, so if you're approached in an inappropriate way, you must put a stop to it. And I just want you to know that you're not alone in any kind of situation. It doesn't have to lead to inappropriate behavior, but you just must be minded that just the fact that you are a young, healthy, vibrant person in the home arouses different kind of energy, and you should be minded how it affects your client and his family. So gender issues, when treating a man or being close to a patient or a spouse, sexual harassment can occur, and it's important to be aware of it. Here is a YouTube presentation that you should look at in your free time, how to deal with sexual harassment. And I just want to say that if you do encounter any kind of sexual harassment that you feel is inappropriate, you're not alone, okay? First of all, share it with the family. See if you can get support. Sometimes it can be treated with medication or with certain kind of, intervention from the family members. And of course, the social worker from the agency, and of course, the service that is provided by CIMI as a call center, okay? So you must not feel that you're alone in a situation, and you should ask for help. Okay, again, I invite you to participate and share with us if anyone has experienced any kind of a situation and perhaps want to tell us how they dealt with it, or perhaps what you're, kind of anxious about in the work situation that you're expected to fulfill in the next few months and so on. Do you have any concerns about being a man or a woman caregiver? Do you think that caregiving work is easier for a man or for a woman, and why? And do you think that caregiving will be harder or easier, depending if you're a man or a woman? You're invited to voice your thoughts and and feelings.
May I ask if any of you worked as caregivers before, or took care of a family member? Maybe in a facility? Nurse? No experience? No past experience?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
I'm Catherine. I'm handling before a patient, a brain tumor with dementia, bedridden at the same time, NGT feeding. I live in one home together with his husband.
Okay,
That's
and
my
was that?
But it's okay. But it's okay that I'm taking care of my patient, and also his husband's in one house. It's okay. No more problem.
Okay, good. It's not, it's not necessary to have problems. I just want to, our concern is that for you, you know, so because you're in a strange country, strange place, we don't want you to feel that you have to compromise anything about your own safety and personal, being because you're in that kind of a situation. So that's why we bring it up and we stress that it's something that needs to be dealt with, not accepted, not acceptable at all. Okay, so we just want to be there for you to in the back of your mind. Okay, good. Hopefully you'll never encounter that situation, any one of you. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, would anyone else like to ask a question or about this or any other subject? Welcome to do so. It's not, just an opportunity to speak out.
Anyone else with past experience? Even grandparents, parents. Sorry, my dog.
I have experience, ma'am. I'm Janice Orsini. My experience in Taiwan is my employer man, because very hard for me because he's not participating me. He had dementia, and then very makulit. That's it, ma'am.
So you took care of a man that had dementia? Did I understand correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
He had dementia, and then not participating, and then always lifting and always ano yun, yung parang transferring bed to wheelchair. I think it's 30 times, and then I cannot sleep. I sleep more than 4 hours every day. Yes, very stressing, ma'am.
Oh, so you've had a very difficult work situation in the past. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And taking care of a man, was he a big man that was so difficult to lift?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay.
He's smoking and always go to park, and then he wants to smoke even though it's late at night. Yes, this, ma'am.
Okay. So you had a difficult work situation. Okay. Taking care of a big man, and also his behavior was difficult to handle. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you have experience. Thank you for sharing that. I'll just say that, I don't know, maybe you want to tell us, where was this? Was this in the Philippines that you had this position, or in a different country? Hello? Okay. Well, what I wanted to say is that, yes, this might be an experience that any of you may encounter, but I want to say that just for your background knowledge, in Israel, we do have a very good health system that you're going to be part of. And there are all kinds of equipment readily available to you and to the family, obviously, to make any kind of a work situation as easy as possible. And it's usually free or of little charge at all. So if you need assistance in any kind of physical, treating or, taking care of your client, you should know that, you don't need to break your back necessarily. And, by lifting and so on, there are all kinds of devices that may assist you in doing so more safely. Okay, thank you. Anyone else would like to share a situation that they've worked for before? Taking care of a man or a woman?
For those of you who will work as caregiver for the first time, Do you have any concerns about working with a male patient? Joshua, maybe you have a concern working with a female? Or it's indifferent?
Hi, ma'am. Good morning. This is Eileen.
Hi,
I
Eileen.
guess as a first timer in caregiving work, I don't have any other concerns because maybe later or sooner, since you have us, I guess we are very much what do you what how can I say this? I think you the CME are in our back to help us. So
Exactly.
it
Got your
is
back.
not, yes. So it is not you know, it is very easy for us to communicate in case we have encountered a problem.
Okay, good. That's our intention. Okay.
Mhm.
It is our intention to have your back and to give you, a feeling of
Assistance.
support. Exactly.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, good. Okay, so if you have in the future issues, feel free to contact us. And of course, like I said, family and friends, and see how a situation can be alleviated into from a not comfortable situation to a better place. So the next issue is an intercultural encounter. Okay, intercultural differences are differences in traditions, food, norms, beliefs, values, which vary between nations, people, ethnic groups, speakers of different languages. So if you've traveled in the past, in the abroad, and some of you have, you already know that people in different cultures behave differently, have different cues. Every culture has its own way of expressing itself. Every culture has its own way of defining conflict, testing messages, resolving conflict, and talking about it. Every culture has its own way of expressing emotions and to talk about emotions. So I will just say a few things. First of all, most of you addressed me as Mam Sarah. Okay, that's very nice, very polite. I'll just say that in Israel, will probably seem to you a little less polite or a lot less polite. We seem to be very direct. You must take this into your consideration. It's not we're being rude or crude. I mean, you can think that, but this is the way we interact with each other. Usually on a first name basis is acceptable. And even teachers and, children in a classroom, the principal, the teacher, and everyone, we call them by their first name, not Mr. or Mrs., as is perhaps acceptable in other cultures. And people in Israel will be very direct and perhaps very emotional in the way they respond to you or behave towards you, using a lot of body gestures, hand gestures, facial expressions. It doesn't mean that they're out to attack you. This is just the way we interact with each other. And this is the Middle East. So it's different from Asian cultures, obviously. But if you've encountered this before, then perhaps you're already aware of it. And if not, it'll take time to adjust. So give yourself that time. Very important to be, straightforward and direct. Every culture has its own way of expressing emotions and talk about emotions. I think that people that are strangers don't talk about emotions in all cultures. This is, they may tell you right out, do this, do that, without please and thank you sometimes here in Israel. But emotions, I think most people are guarded in all cultures until they feel comfortable and safe and relaxed. And then, obviously we share emotions as well. But I, again, stress being in a Jewish family situation, there is the religious aspect and cultural aspect of being Jewish. I want you to be minded that the kitchen, because of the dietary laws and because of other laws that, Jewish people adhere to more or less or not at all, is, depends on a lot of things. You must know that Israel is a relatively young country, and it's a country of immigrants, and people from all over the world live in Israel today. Perhaps most of them have been immigrants at one time or another, or perhaps their parents. And so multicultural, many languages. Hebrew, of course, you will need to learn in order to make your stay easier. And I highly recommend that you make an effort to learn Hebrew, basic Hebrew, and of course, to try to figure out what the culture and expectations from you within the specific family that you will be living with, okay? And don't be offended if they ask you not to go into the kitchen, not to touch things, not to cook things, to keep your things separate until they trust that you know what the do's and don'ts are in their home. They will probably ask you, I don't know, to do this or not to do that. So be minded that there are rules in every home, probably different than you would be accustomed to, and ask many questions again and again. Write things down. Don't, sometimes when a person is anxious, they don't remember, they do remember. You'll make mistakes. It's okay. That's how we are. We're all human. We make mistakes. And give yourself time. Most important thing that is international, smile. If you smile, people will understand that you're there to do a good job, and slowly, I'm sure you will. How to adjust to a new culture. Be patient and give yourself time. It's important to keep your culture and customs and traditions, of course, if you do that, if you want to. And here are a few tips on how to adjust to a new culture with this YouTube presentation. You're welcome to look at it at your own time. And it's going to be an adventure for anyone who's not been in the Middle East before. And I'm sure you're going to really enjoy your stay in Israel. Okay, again, what have you heard about Israelis? Culture? Do you have any concerns about adjusting to Israeli culture? Do you have any questions about Israeli culture? Now is a good time to ask or share. Anyone?
I know that in the Philippines, you have bilateral agreements with different countries, but you chose to come to Israel. Any reason? Is it religious? Were you curious? Hey, Cindy.
Hello, ma'am. Actually, I have lots of cousins here in Israel, and I decided to work in Israel, not just because you give higher salary, but because I believe that Israelis are nice. That's why my cousins chose to live here for a long time.
Oh, interesting. You have family members. That's nice.
Cousins, ma'am.
Cousins. Cousins.
Second, I'm sorry?
A cousin, right? A cousin is a family member.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Wow, that's wonderful. It's very nice.
According to them, Israelis are nice people, and I think that's the reason why they stay here for 5 years or more, 10 years.
Okay, good. So I'm assuming that you're expecting to have a good experience like you've heard before. Okay, yes. Thank you for sharing
That's
that.
why I'm not so scared, unlike in other Arab countries.
Okay. It's scary. It's scary to be in a different kind of culture. You're absolutely right. Exactly. Okay. We like to think of ourselves as Europeans, but perhaps we are a Middle Eastern country. Thank you, Cindy. Anyone else like to say something, ask a question about Israelis? Have you heard something else about Israelis that you'd like to, share with us?
It could be about the culture, the people, religious, politics, sites. Have you heard about anything in Israel? Oh, yesterday I sent you two recorded sessions about the culture and geography, sites. I recommend to go back and watch. If you have not watched it yet, watch it.
Okay, guys. So everyone is shy today, which is fine. Perhaps when we meet again on Sunday, you'll kind of warm up to each other. And again, I encourage you to kind of, mingle, as much as possible and make friends. And yeah, this is like a weird kind of a situation for a week to be in between time, but you could take advantage of it to, maybe learn a little Hebrew online and so on. So let me teach you something about Israeli culture that we do a lot. We use a lot of hand gestures. So if we cup your fingers like this, and you put your hand like this, yeah, that's good. And then you say rega, 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 rega. Can we all say that? Rega, rega.
Rega, rega.
Right.
Rega, rega.
Exactly. That means a
Rega,
minute,
rega.
please. So if you do it with a smile, rega, rega.
Rega, rega.
Exactly. That means a minute, please. Exactly. So
Like,
this is,
wait a little.
wait a minute. Yes, please hang on just a second. All of those things. Rega, rega. Okay. You'll learn a lot more things over the time that you're here. So I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom, is what we say, Shabbat Shalom. Friday is a short day for us. Saturday is the day of rest. And yeah.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's going to be
Shabbat.
an exciting adventure for all of you. I'm sure of it.
Thank you, ma'am.
I like to add that after our meeting during the day, I will send many more links, the ones we had here on our presentation, and I will share other links regarding Shabbat and Kashrut laws. Okay, and I will add later on 2 recorded sessions regarding rights and obligation. So looking forward to seeing you on Sunday. Have a lovely weekend. And
Thank
Shabbat
you.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Bye.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you. Boker tov.
Boker Tov, yes.